let's preview our page and then we can see what styling we need to do. So first of all, this definitely needs some spacing between those two sections. So we need to add some margin or padding. Then we need to create some spacing between the image and the text element. And also we probably need to improve on the heading and make this whole section a bit more interesting. The other thing is this image looks a bit lost right now. Maybe we can give the image itself some styling. So let's go about doing that. The first thing I'm going to do is create some space on this page. So I'm going to select the section and going to give it a class, bio as in biography, and I'm just going to give it some padding of, let's say, 100 pixels, pushing everything down. There we go. This is already better. Now let's create some space between those two elements. And in order to do that, I'm just going to select the right div and I'm going to give it a padding of, let's say, 40 pixels. 40 pixels for the moment is okay. I think we can improve on that, but let's stay with 40 pixels at the moment. Now let's take the heading and increase it in size. The heading itself seems to get a bit lost still. So let's maybe set the heading size to 46. Let's try that and increase that to 52. And see, it looks already better. Think we could make the heading, give it some space between the heading and the text. And in order to create some more space between those two elements, what we have to do is we just increase the margin. So let's give it some more margin. Let's set that to 40 pixels. And this already looks better. I think the text looks fine for the moment. Maybe we can push it in slightly, but let's leave it like this for the moment. So the next step is styling this image. Let's apply some styling to it. And I think what would look pretty good is if we give it some shadow. Applying some shadow to images makes them look like they stand out from the page, almost slightly three-dimensional. So let's go and do exactly that. I'm going to give it a class of bio image, bio short for biography, since this is some personal stuff here. And I am going to select that image with that class and scroll down to the effects section. In effects, we can choose box shadows. And if I hit the plus sign, you see it applies some shadow. Now let's increase the distance of that shadow and increase the blur. And there we go. Let's take a preview. Looks okay already. I don't like exactly what's going on here. It looks like there's a dent in there. Let's try to fix that. It's a bit of trial and error. Okay, that should be fine for the moment. Yeah, that looks pretty okay. The next step is adding some more styling to this text. You see how we made this appear in red? It would be nice if we can repeat this theme throughout our website. Now I can select this text and apply exactly the same styling we did earlier. If I select this text element, text span, and just go highlight span. However, I think we should reserve this orange, red really for only very few elements on the page. If we overuse it, the user will get used to it and it's nothing special anymore. So in this case, I think it would make sense if you use a different color. Now, in order to pick a different color, I'm going to go back to Material UI, and I'm looking for a different color. So I have picked this blue already. And the reason I picked this blue is that the website is related to surfing. And we will employ quite a lot of images of surfers, and they are often in water and therefore a lot of blue. So I think a blue color would fit nicely here. Let's employ exactly that. I'm going to remove this span and give this text element a different span element. I'm going to call it blue highlight. And then all I have to do is select the color and change it. Make sure that we save this as well. There we go. Let's take a look at the preview. And this looks already better. The last thing I want to add to this section is a signature. That would make it give it the whole thing a bit more of a personal touch. So let me do that. I'm going to take again a div block, div element, and I'm going to drop it below the rich text block. And I'm going to give this div element a class. Let's call it signature wrapper. And I will now add an image element, which will be the signature. And I already prepared the signature. The signature is using exactly the same color as this My Story. So what we now have to do is we should center the signature. And in order to center it, all I have to do is select the signature wrapper and hit align center. And now the image is in the center of the whole right div. Let's preview how this looks like. Okay. This looks already pretty good. I think we could add some more spacing here, remove some spacing here so it looks a bit more aligned, and give this whole section some spacing at the bottom. And then this section should be more or less good. Let's do exactly that. First, give this right div some more padding, let's say 60. We could give it on the left hand side some padding of say 20, so that pushes everything a bit more to the center. And then I'm going to select the bio section and also give it some padding at the bottom of 100 pixels, which increases the whole section size. Let's preview this again. And this looks already pretty good for the moment. I think we can leave it as it is right now and start adding the next section in the next video.